Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you so much.
Say that again, say that again.
What do they tell the men? You look handsome.
You look very handsome tonight.
You look dapper.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome once again to the 13th GA Awards 2025. Like he said, this event will amplify Africa's progress in alignment with Africa Continental Free Trade, Africa Union Agenda 2063, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 8, 9, and 17. It is indeed my honor to be here. Now let's retest the energy in the room because we're here for greatness and everyone seated here is great. So when I say God, you say greatness. God. God. Beautiful. Another round of applause for yourself.
No, that greatness was not great.
It wasn't great. Okay.
I need you to give us the African greatness.
Come on.
So are you ready, people?
Yes.
Give me that energy. Are you ready, people?
Yes.
God!
God! Beautiful, beautiful. Right now,
ladies and gentlemen, shall we please rise for the national anthem of the most populous black nation on the face of the earth, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as presented.
The group Team Definition will lead us in the national anthem. Anthem/theme song challenge, and a winner emerged. The winners of the GA theme song challenge will now come off stage to present to us their beautiful dance steps that helped them win. I would like you, ladies and gentlemen, to pay attention to this very important aspect of the event. Listen to the GA theme song. Join me, welcome the winners of the GA theme challenge, Star Kids Academy. A round of applause,
ladies and gentlemen.
My people, Africa rises again.
With vision in our eyes and purpose in the stride, a new dawn of excellence has come.
Where legacy meets leadership and dreams meet destiny.
This is the God experience.
Oh, I was a businessman. In a movement beyond the ordinary, we celebrate those who redefine glory.
From Lagos to the world, we say Africa leads the way.
Where innovation inspires, inclusion empowers, sustainability defines the power. The Gaia Awards, tradition reborn, excellence forever sworn. Africa reigns. The future awakening. In a crossroads rooms, classrooms and streets.
Visionaries rise, greatness repeats.
The true hope of Africa is its people. Pioneers who make dreams equal.
Builders of destiny,
Creators of legacy. Get your drums and destiny sound. Every heartbeat echoes proud. Oh, this is more than an award. It's a legacy in motion. We are Africa imagined, bold, diverse, unstoppable. Let the drums of destiny sound. Every heartbeat echoes proud. Oh, this is more than Africa forever shining strong. Every edition, not just a moment in time. It's a chapter in Africa's eternal story.
Round of applause.
Yes, before we go any further, would like to recognize our esteemed guests. Please, as we call out their names, please would like you to be generous with your applause.
I'd like to welcome someone who Enito Okusi Ojaja II. He will be talking to us tonight about reclaiming Africa's greatness through culture and innovation. He's represented by this jewel of inestimable value, Olori Okusi. Ademili Okusi, a round of applause for her, please. She is a shining light of law, of fashion, of business, and the world can never forget the African Fashion Show week that she started years back in the UK. Can I have a round of applause for her, please?
We'd also like to recognize a beacon of inspiration for women who will be speaking to us today on gender justice and national development. I'm talking about none other than the winner of International Woman of Courage Award by the United States of America, a fearless activist, a national treasure who has spent her life fighting for equity, fairness, and human dignity. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for Dr. Joe Oke-Odumake.
The special advisor to Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu on tourism, arts, and culture, the irrepressible MD CEO of Renaissance Africa, Engineer Tony Atta. A round of applause for him, please.
We also have with us a philanthropist and real estate entrepreneur, Dr.
Applause for her, please.
And we have coming all the way from the United States of America, Rockstar Global Investments, Dr. Chanita Foster. Thank you for. We'll give you a Nigerian name very soon.
Let's just give her Omawale
I think I will. Omawale.
straight away.
I think it's Bukuola.
And Great Joe Jobs NG, Dr. Oman Odike. Thank you very much for coming.
And we have the CEO of Certification Edge, who is also a board member of GA Awards, Dr. For Nigeria's premier aviation company, Air Peace.
Chair of the GNYT Group, an empire shaping fashion, education.
And Group Managing Director, G-Mite Group Limited.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord. Your Excellencies, distinguished governors, honorable ministers, eminent traditional rulers, captains of industries, development partners and sponsors, global icons, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we gather not merely for an award ceremony, but for a defining moment in Africa's story. A moment that challenges us to look beyond limitations, beyond stereotypes, and beyond inherited narratives, to envision a continent that is innovative, inclusive, sustainable, and boldly reimagined. For 13 uninterrupted editions, the GA Awards and Business Summit has stood as a platform. Yes, that deserves a round of applause. Thank you very much. For 13 uninterrupted editions, the GA Awards and Business Summit has stood as a platform where excellence meets purpose, where influence meets responsibility, and where leadership meets legacy. And tonight, as I stand before you, I am profoundly grateful that this vision has grown into a continental movement embraced by change makers across governments. Enterprise, technology, humanitarian work, creative industries, and the global diaspora. This year's theme, Africa Reimagined, innovation, inclusion, and sustainable growth, is an aspiration. It is an urgent call to action. It reminds us that Africa's future will not be written by chance. It will be written by visionaries, builders, doers, and innovators who understand that progress is not a gift, it is a responsibility. We cannot speak of a reimagined Africa without acknowledging the people who made that vision possible. Since inception, the GA platform has celebrated thousands of institutions and leaders, amplifying their contributions and inspiring the next generation. These are men and women who dare to dream differently, who dare to push boundaries, who dare to choose legacy over applause. This evening, we celebrate them once again, not for what they have achieved alone, but for the doors they continue to open for others. I think we all deserve a round of applause. Yeah. Thank you. Now, beyond celebration, tonight is also about transformation. Through the GA Awards, the GA Elite Club, and the GA Elite Club magazine, we are building an interconnected ecosystem that fosters high-level successful networking, brand elevation, empowerment, and sustainable development. We are creating platforms where leaders collaborate, where ideas flourish, and where solutions emerge. Furthermore, through GMIT Fashion Academy, GMIT Foundation, and our Social Impact Initiative, we have empowered over 12,000 women and youths, equipping them with skills, tools, and pathways to economic independence. That is the Africa I believe in. An Africa where empowerment is intentional, structured, and measurable. I want to say that I am honored that you all, beautiful people, choose to be here to honor our call. And we promise that it will be worth your while. Thank you for honoring us. Good evening.
First keynote address this evening, I'd like to invite a father what is weight in gold, someone that stands for peace and unity amongst not just his people, but humanity as a whole. But I think as the founder was talking, that man who I love to describe as one of Nigeria's most astute managers of men and resources, worked in business magnates, industrialist lawyer, philanthropist, thoroughbred, tribalized Nigerian, founder of West Africa's largest airline, Air Peace, Dr. Allen Ifechukwu Oyema, walked in. A round of applause for him, please. You're most welcome. And thank you for all you do for our dear nation. God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, talking to us on how we can transform Africa through culture and innovation. Permit me to welcome His Imperial Majesty, the 51st Oni of the modern era, Oni Adeyeye Enito Ogusi, who is represented by his jewel, Olori Aderonke Ogusi. A round of applause for her. Please do not stop clapping. Do not stop clapping. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, esteemed leaders, awardees, and of course, Dr. Princess Ogene, my little sister doing big things. Thank you. I'm humbled to stand before you today, representing my husband, His Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ife. As we gather to celebrate African excellence and innovation, I bring you warm greetings from the ancient city of Ile-Ife and the cradle of Yoruba civilization. Innovation, inclusion, and sustainable growth resonates deeply with the Oni's vision for a united and prosperous Africa. The Oni of Ife believes that cultural heritage is the foundation upon which we build our future. He tirelessly promotes Yoruba traditions, arts, and the language, showcasing their richness to the world. His leadership has inspired a new generation of Africans to cherish their heritage while embracing innovation and progress. As Africa navigates the complexities of the 21st century, he says we must harness our collective potential to drive growth and development to Africa. The GHA Awards is a prestigious platform that promotes outstanding individuals and organizations making significant contributions to Africa's development and the platform has become a beacon of excellence. Princess, your efforts and consistency have created a platform for us to shine. Thank you. Let us continue to work together, bridging tradition and innovation to create a brighter future for our continent, Africa. A future where African creativity, resilience, and determination shape our destiny. Let us reimagine Africa together and build a prosperous and inclusive Africa for generations to come. Thank you very much, and may the spirit of Africa guide us all. Thank you.
His Excellency Dr. Dauda Lawal, represented by the Chief of Staff to the Governor of Zamfara State, Mukhtar Lunga, speaking to us on transforming challenges into economic opportunities. Please keep the applause coming.
Please,
Your Excellency, His Highness, the Honorable, who is heavily and warmly represented by the Lord herself. Beautiful, beautiful speech. We are all very proud of you. The person who is responsible for this gathering, the founder of this award, Dr. Kelechi. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll cut the protocol, but I acknowledge and warmly welcome all of us to this August occasion. Before I read His Excellency's speech, if you see that I'm overdressed, yes, it's because I really am. I couldn't wait for an opportunity to wear this dress, and when His Excellency told me that I'm going to represent him, and I saw the caliber of people, and I saw this very pretty, intelligent woman, I knew that I had to rise to the occasion. I want to use this opportunity to showcase the tenacity and the ingenuity of our people with this dress that I'm wearing today. I present a lot of northern folks that would have loved to be here today. Thank you very much for inviting me, and for inviting His Excellency, and he brings his good wishes to each and everybody that's here. I want to convey His Excellency's apology for his inability to be here today. It is an occasion he really looked forward to. But for exigencies of office, he couldn't make it. I'm sure he has given a lot of apology to you. But I think the public also deserves to know that this is one occasion His Excellency would have loved to be here himself. I will do my best. I'm not a good orator, I'm not when he's around. I will do my best to convey his message to this August visitors. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll read a text of speech that he gave me, which is also the keynote address. Keynote address, His Excellency Dr. Dauda Lawal, Executive Governor of Zamfara State, at the 13th Global African Heroes Awards and Business Summit. All protocol observed. It is with profound and deep humility that I address this distinguished gathering of African leaders, global investors, policy makers, and development actors whose collective vision continues to shape the trajectory of our continent. The GA Awards and Business Summit has become a stage where excellence is celebrated. Ideas are sharpened and passionate. I commend the organizers for sustaining a platform that challenges Africa to think boldly, act decisively, and re-emerging the future with purpose and clarity. The theme for this year, Africa Reimagined, Innovation, Inclusion, and Sustainable Growth, is a timely call for self-examination and strategic courage. Africa stands at an intersection where demographic dynamism, technological advancement, and a rapidly shifting global economic landscape offer both unprecedented opportunities and urgent challenges. To reimagine Africa is to question outdated assumptions, disrupt apathy, and embrace a developmental model anchored on knowledge, productivity, and shared prosperity. It requires us to build new governance cultures, strengthen state capacity, and engineer our economies to compete on the global stage. Speaking from standpoint of a subnational government that has grappled with some of the most complex realities in contemporary Nigeria, I recognize the weight of this conversation. Zamfara State, as like many parts of our continent, requirements. It is the foundation upon which sustainable development, investor confidence, and social stability are built. We also confront the security challenge, not merely as a matter of law enforcement, but as a development imperative. Communities cannot flourish when they live in fear. Markets cannot function when families are displaced. Our approach has therefore integrated security operations with socio-economic recovery, supporting displaced households, rehabilitating rural infrastructure, reviving agriculture activity, and building disrupted value chains. Africa's peace and prosperity are inseparable. Sustainable security must be built on opportunity, justice, and an economy that works for all. In an era where natural resources alone cannot guarantee prosperity, Africa must confront the reality that value addition, not extraction, is the engine of modern development. Zamfara State is richly endowed with minerals and vast agricultural potential, and we are deliberately transitioning from informal, unregulated activity to structured, investment-driven value creation. Our focus is shifting from exporting raw materials to promoting beneficiation, from substance-safe agriculture to commercial agribusiness, and from fragmented markets to integrated technology-enabled value chains. This is the direction Africa must move towards, a continent that processes what it produces and produces what it consumes. But innovation without inclusion builds fragile societies. African development must intentionally prioritize women, youth, rural communities, and small businesses, because prosperity that includes the majority cannot endure. In Zamfara State, our social investment program supports vulnerable households, promotes women financial inclusion, strengthens youth employability, and expands access to basic services. Yet the broader African project requires more affordable credit systems, labor market reform, modernized education, and deliberate effort to close gender gaps in leadership and economic participation. Inclusion is not charity, it is foundation for stability, productivity, and resilience. My message today is that Africa must no longer be viewed as a continent waiting to be rescued. It is a continent waiting to be released from the shackles of neocolonialism. Let us build the institutions that can sustain growth, the policies that can attract investment, the infrastructure that can support industrial and social systems that lift people out of poverty. Let us strengthen regional trade, modernize our economy, and shift from technical politics to transformational government.
Who do you want to speak
I
to, me or
congratulate
the
all the
Okay,
award
go ahead.
recipients and encourage investors, innovators, and development partners to look deeply into the policies emerging across the sub-African sub-national government. In Zamfara State,
Is
our
your
goals
Onago-
remain wide open partnerships
Okay.
grounded on sincerity, expertise, and a shared aspiration for a prosperous and emerging Africa. May the summit yield concrete outcomes, strengthen continental cooperation, and inspire
Thank you.
commitment that will endure long after today. Thank God, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Assalamu alaikum.
Awards and Business Summit Chair, one of Nigeria's brightest business minds, Dr. Mapatope Agbeyo. Can I have a round of applause for him, please? Now we've done a lot of talking. I think it's time, ladies and gentlemen.
I what you want without giving up. If you walk hard, if you try hard, if you just what you want, if you walk hard, you can climb the mountains up. 'Cause nothing is too small and nothing is too big. We are made, we are made, we are made. We are made up, we are made up, we are made
Getting into the crux of the event. We're getting to another important aspect for why we are gathered here. It's a special moment for GA Awards and the GA Elite Club. Earlier we made an announcement that there's an amazing innovation that GA Awards will be unveiling today. The 2025 edition will spotlight scalable African solutions across businesses. And this is one of the scalable solutions. Now, to tell us more about this VVIP Black Card, join me welcome a representative from Weber Bank, Mrs. Evelyn Ogunleye, as she comes up stage to tell us more about the Black Card. Please, a round of applause for Mrs. Evelyn Ogunleye.
And as she comes up, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome the Iyalaje of the Black race, Iyalaje Odua, Princess Tui Konade.
You're welcome. Right, this is an amazing innovation. Everyone who is a member of the GA Elite Club is entitled to a Black Card. Now, this Black Card gives you
GA Elite Club.
If you have the Black Card, it gives you access to discounts all over the world, not just in Nigeria. Okay. It means you are part of the 1% of the 1%.
So ladies and gentlemen,
Mrs. Evelyn is here.
She will tell me how. Let me go and work hard and put some money in my account.
The kind of wealth that goes because of kind of people and caliber of people that are present in this room. Many of us here manage portfolios across continents, assets across sectors and lifestyle. And what we are talking about here mostly is lifestyle and luxury. And that is why we have the GA Elite Black Card. This Black Card is very distinguished, very unique, and very prominent for all our activities as very elite people. And part of the benefit of this card, you can get up to $2,000 cross-border spend limit. You have 15% off spa services at designated spa outlets. You have one that's already here. You can have up to 15% off IDH hotels with welcome drink and late checkout. You have up to 35% car rentals with every budget and rental cars. You also have a trains in Dubai airports. Then when it comes to lounges in airports in Nigeria or across the country, across the continent, you will also be treated specially. You don't have to queue, you don't have to stay in line, you just walk through the luxurious place and you will be highly attended to because of your prestigious card. You also have a 25% off your first fitness app subscription. Whatever app, fitness app subscription you are using, you have a 25% off when you use the GAR Elite Black card. You also have a free 2 years My US Premium membership for international shipping. Then you have 2 free global deliveries per month using the card. Then 10% off any junior purchase every 15th of the month. So you can see that this card is very prestigious with a lot of discounts and a whole lot of goodies. So why don't you have the card with us today? So you can sign up by coming to the booth, and it's as simple as anything. So GAR Elite Black card is here and is here to stay. Please be a member. Thank you very much.
The governor of Zamfara State, my very good friend. I feel highly honored to be invited. Oh, please forgive me. I breached protocol. I didn't even know that my supervising minister is here present, talking about the indefatigable Christos Kermo, represented by Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. Before I even go to talk about aviation, when I see the guy in this place looking at different cultures, present, I feel proud to be a Nigerian, and I want to say that I will remain a Nigerian until I die. I don't really care whose pops is gone when I say such things, because I believe in broad nationalism. You can imagine people say Nigeria is a country of over 200 ethnic nationalities. Yes, but the truth is that Nigeria is a country of 378 ethnic nationalities, to be precise. So this should be our strength. It should be the strength of the nation. A lot of nations are envious of this country because of our diversity. And why should we now be doing ourselves and trying to cause divisions here and there? Because we're trying to go our own way, we drum up the ethnic and religious sentiments. In Nigeria, what we have is ethnic and religious sentiments instead of broad nationalism. And let me tell you something, when you hate someone because of his ethnicity, the tongue he speaks, or his skin color, you're drinking poison and expecting someone to die for the poison you're just taking yourself. You're committing suicide. But when you have a heart full of love, the sky is not just your limit, it's the stepping stone, it's your own foundation. So today, I want to celebrate my dear good friend, Dr. Lawal. This is a Nigerian, every Nigerian should be proud of. I am absolutely, myself, my family, my establishment, we're all very proud of this emerging young Nigerian who is doing wonderful things in a state of chaos he met. Please give a rounding. I mean, he deserves more than this. He deserves even a standing ovation, because if you know what happened in Zamfara, where this man was coming from, please, may we all rise for Dr. Lawal, please. Please honor a fellow Nigerian who has dared to be different, a fellow Nigerian who has shown that there is character in leadership, and that is Dr. Lawal. He has moved Zamfara State to places that even now, forget what you hear on the press, people want to visit Zamfara. I mean, implore all of you to visit there and applaud this young man. The future of Nigeria resides in people like that. And please send my words of commendations to him. He has done us all proud. Dr. Lawal is one of the most quintessential leaders, young leaders, international leaders this country has ever produced. and we expect more of him. After 8 years in Zamfara, please let him come to the center. We need people like that. We need people like, he's highly tribalized. He does not believe in religious ethnicity. He doesn't believe in religious nationalism. He doesn't believe in ethnic nationalism. He believes in this country. You only get to meet him, and he's very infectious when it comes to his belief in this country. So once again, I thank him. He's a role model for the youth to emulate. He's a hope. He gives hope to those who have lost hope in this country. So I needed to use this opportunity to celebrate someone who has done right. Thank you all. Now I'm talking about my own industry. We gather here in a moment like this just to celebrate excellence, not just to celebrate excellence, but to reflect on the power of connection, the promise of progress, and the undeniable force that is aviation. Aviation is far more than just the airplane flying in the skies. It connects destinations. It is an engine of commerce, a gateway of opportunity, and a catalyst for economic integration. It ties continents together, accelerates trade, unlocks tourism, and expands the horizons of communities and commerce alike. For Africa, a continent of 1.4 billion people, incredible ingenuity, and vast resources, aviation is not a luxury, it is a strategic imperative. Today, aviation stands at the intersection of Africa's greatest ambitions. Economic unity, regional market access, industrial capacity, and global competitiveness. But before I speak to that future, let us take a moment to honor the leadership that has given this vision actionable in my own country, Nigeria. Under the stewardship of His Excellency, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of this great country, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu CFR, Nigeria's aviation sector has witnessed reforms that have strengthened investor confidence, enhanced safety oversight, and expanded opportunities for indigenous operators to thrive and compete internationally. I must also recognize the driving efforts of the Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, whose strategic reforms are defining our industry from regulatory modernization and safety enhancements to creating a business-friendly environment that encourages competition and growth. You may not know where we are coming from. When I press the president and his minister, people don't understand it. They say, he who wears the shoes will definitely know where the pinches. We are coming from a state of hopelessness in the aviation industry up to this moment. And everything has changed. Nigerian airlines were being demonized as not having capacity. But here we have a government, the president absolutely believes in helping indigenous businesses grow. And this is what this kind of summit should be speaking to. They removed all the bottlenecks hitherto that's kind of tried to bring us down in aviation. Today, you could see, before now, you are paying 16 million naira for your business class ticket to go to London for just a 6-hour flight. Meanwhile, South Africa, 9 hours to London, was paying far less. Our neighbors in Ghana, they were paying far less. You could travel from South Africa to the United States of America, and what you will be paying for your business class. The Nigerian passenger flying from Lagos to London will be paying for economy. This economic ticket fare is equivalent to the South African business class from Johannesburg to the same London. And they will fly 9 hours. They will come and overfly Nigeria's airspace before they get to London. Yet, it was cheaper. My country was being exploited. My country was being stigmatized at the same time. And at the same time, being ripped off for several years. And this government came to power and said, enough is enough. We must support credible and serious Nigerian airlines to undertake this endeavor, and let's see what will happen. Under this regime, an indigenous airline crashed for the world, like crashed the price, the fares of international travel within 24 hours. Courtesy of the support we received from the federal government and the minister. On that night, when the breaking news hit the news waves, all the foreign airlines brought down their fares by about 70%. This happened, and it's still happening. So the competition has just started. Nobody will fight for Africa except Africa. If you think the West or the Asians will come here to save you, you're wasting your time. It's all about what all of them can get out of Africa. Africa is the destination. Mark my word. Africa is the destination. Now, we are the next destination. There's another scramble going on now for Africa. So why not us, within this ecosystem, as Africans, make use of it? That's why we in airline operators of Nigeria are eternally indebted to the regime of Mr. Spiemo as the Minister of Aerospace Development and our dear President. May God continue to bless them. When governments act with vision and the private sector responds with bold execution, nation and regions flourish. Aviation driving Africa's economic integration. Africa's economic integration cannot be achieved through rhetoric alone. It requires connectivity. Intra-African trade, faster and more competitive than ever before. This is what seamless connectivity does for you. It also logistics corridors that empower exporters to reach markets beyond borders. Tourism flows that create jobs and elevate cultural exchange. Business travel that catalyzes strategic partnerships and foreign direct investment. These are the things aviation will do for you. In that regard, the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFTA, offers a blueprint, a framework that hinges on connectivity to unlock an estimated $3.4 billion in economic activity by 2035. Aviation is a key pillar in this blueprint, helping remove barriers, shorten distances, and create a literal highway in the sky for goods, people, and investment. For too long, Africa's aviation ecosystem has been constrained by fragmentation, limited routes between African cities, dependence on foreign carriers for intra-African travel, and infrastructure bottlenecks that slow progress. Yes, these are challenges, but we are beginning to overcome them. When people compare the Nigerian airlines to the ones from the West, Allah, let me tell you something you need to know tonight. All these big airlines on the first world, you know them from America, from Britain, from Europe, from everywhere, from Asia. They have access to cheap finance. While they borrow money at 2%, 3% interest rates, Airpeace and their colleagues in the Nigerian industry borrows at 35%. Tell me how they want to survive. While they have everything going for them in their country, like insurance, in Nigeria, what are used in insuring one aircraft or any other Nigerian airline will use insuring one Boeing 737. It is what these other people will use in insuring about 5 aircraft. So the premium we pay for one aircraft on insurance, they use it to, do 5 aircraft. So the tide is against you. You are dead on arrival. So you should applaud the resilience of these Nigerian airlines. It's a selfless job. Aviation is not profitable, but it's addictive. You will crumble your other businesses to invest in aviation. over 80 Nigerian airlines have come and gone. So what did they do wrong? Remember, the owners of these airlines succeeded in other business lines, in other type of business before they ventured into aviation, because you don't go into aviation with peanuts. They must have succeeded in other businesses before. So why is mortality rate that high? These are the issues. Excessive taxation in the system is also hindering connectivity, hindering the capacity development of the airlines. And this is what we are trying to address with the government. And to God be the glory, the present government is listening to us. Remember, my country, your country, in the last 50 years was stigmatized. The leasing world said Nigeria is unsafe. Nigeria is not good. The security situation in Nigeria is not good. Because of that, they raised insurance. Because of that, they reduced the drivers. Most of these airlines from the other airlines, they don't really own those planes. What they need to do is to go to Boeing, Airbus, or Embraer and make an order. Then the financier steps in, the leasing company steps in, buys it. When they buy it, they lease it back to these airlines. And you see they are really going to 800, 1,000 planes. In Nigeria, you as a young airline must own that aircraft or those aircraft yourself. So it's not been easy, it's not the same thing at all. But we are suffering a kind of stigma as Nigerians. Therefore, we should not also stigmatize ourselves. They tell you your country is unsafe, yet they keep on asking for more frequencies into your country. These airlines promote Nigeria in the wrong ends. We are pretending to be our friends in the country. They tell the outside world how unsafe Nigeria is, yet they seek more frequencies into your country. They tell the world that you're not safe, you're not so good. They tell the world that you don't release monies. If you know your money is going to be, seized in Nigeria, you're not going to get your foreign exchange out of Nigeria. Why do you then increase more frequencies, making it worse for you? Don't fool you and me. That's why I was telling you that there's only Africa that can save Africa. So, for too long, Africa's aviation ecosystem has been constrained by this kind of fragmentation. But the tide is changing. African carriers are expanding networks, reducing travel times, opening new corridors that bridge markets across the continent. Our own flagship carriers have broken barriers, expanding international services, increasing commercial frequency, and exploring uncharted markets that reach continents. Notably, APs have gone direct services from Abuja to London Heathrow, Abuja to London Gatwick, and Lagos to London Gatwick. Also, APs have also launched a direct flight linking Lagos to the Caribbean islands of Antigua, and that is starting in the next few days, December 21st. This is the first of touch corridor between Africa and the Caribbean. This is the first time we'll be having this connectivity between the entire Africa and the Caribbean. So from December 21st, we'll be ready to go to Jamaica, Antigua, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, St. Kitts, Venice, Guyana, through your own airline service. All of these statements of intent that signals that African aviation is ready to deliver growth, opportunity, and connectivity on a global scale. Development integration requires infrastructure, technical competence, and investment in local capacity. The arrival of wireless aircraft and the development of local aircraft leasing options, which is breaking historical barriers to expansion. We've seen regulatory reforms, like public-private partnerships, airport development and cargo infrastructure, easing trade flow and reducing costs. All these initiatives are not isolated projects. They are investments in sustainable competitiveness. They position Africa's aviation industry not to serve its own markets, but to be a major player in the global landscape. The truth is, the challenges, recently, we saw in the aviation sector, we saw a lot of bloggers castigating us. Please forgive us, but let me tell you something you need to know tonight. When you say the price of local travel is very expensive, you are right. You are absolutely right. But who is responsible for this? You need to know the truth. When an airline takes 350,000 naira from you for your ticket fare to any destination, 1 hour, 40 minutes or 50 minutes destination in this country, 350,000. It seems huge. Of course, it's huge. The purchasing power of people have been affected. But the truth is, what comes in the airline is only 81,000 naira out of the 350,000. So you should begin to ask questions. Address all those content creators that go on to create all manner of content against this airline. Address it to the right sources. Traveling within Nigeria and within Africa is highly expensive because of excessive taxation. The Nigerian Airlines pay 17 taxes and charges on one ticket. Yes. And that is why, come into being by January 1st, 2026, if it is not addressed to remove and exempt airlines from some of the provisions of those laws, then of course, Nigerian Airlines will go down, one after the other, within 2 months. We will not have any airlines that's not ready. The government has invited us once again to discuss it, because it's a listening government, and we thank them so much, because the intention of this president is to support indigenous businesses grow and not to kill them. And they are very busy now with our solutions, which they are attending to, and we are very sure in no time everything will be okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Nigerians. We must support Nigerian businesses. In a situation wherever you see a Nigerian business growing and you think you want to bring it down, when you bring it down, you may be the next victim of suicide bomber. For those who you have thrown out of job, you may be the next victim of kidnappers, you may be the next victim of all sorts of vices. If you want to bring Dangote down, you're not doing Dangote, you're doing yourself. Touch that man's investment and Nigeria is finished. So we should begin to look beyond our noses and not seek private investment from the ownership or the shareholding of such investments. Look at it as a Nigerian business, the Nigerian project that is providing thousands of jobs. If you touch Allen Oyema today, Allen Oyema has about 6,000 people working for APs. If you touch me or touch the airline and it goes down, you may not know who will kill you the next day. The insecurity we are talking about, you and I are gainfully employed. You don't want to go into that kind of vice. When people are idle, the idle mind starts thinking of some vices to be able to sustain his life. So we must support Nigerian investment. We must be nationalistic in our approach in everything that concerns this country. God bless you. Thank you. And, sorry, before I go, I must applaud this young lady who has put this together. You've showed the world and you've proved that there are beauties with brains. Thank you.
Dr. Allen, please stay. One important thing he said is if Air Peace fails, then Nigeria has failed. Thank you for all you do for the industry in terms of sponsorship. You are our official airline partner for my education. Thank you very much, and God bless you. The first of all, please.
No, sound. That's what we need. Remove your hand here. Remove your hand here.
Congratulations, His Excellency Dr. Dauda Lawal, the Executive Governor of Zamfara State, on receiving the GA National Capital Development Award 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's be generous with our applause. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Dr. Allen Onyema. You can now graciously make your way back to your seat.
Keep flying safe.
Put your hand.
Come on, get out. Keep flying safe. Thank you very much, Dr. Allen Onyema. God bless you for all you do, and congratulations, Excellency Dr.
GA Diplomatic Excellence 2025, and the recipient of this award, ladies and gentlemen, is the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. Festus Egwarewa Keyamo, SANCON. Congratulations. Yes, he has sent his representative. He's ably represented by Janet Okuta, the SA to the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Congratulations once again, Mr. Festus Egwarewa Keyamo, SANCON, on receiving the GA Diplomatic Excellence Award 2025.
Congratulations, just like brother mentioned, talk about the tough business environment. We still have wonderful people who have become enablers. They have helped the business environment flourish and to survive. So today we are presenting one of our own, Festus Keyamo, SAN. He has done fantastically well. He has helped to create an enabling environment that has helped the aviation industry to flourish. I'm sure our brother Adam Onyema will testify to this. Thank you very much on behalf of GA Award. This is the 13th edition. I present this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Slot. We appreciate you.
On behalf of the Foundation of Aerospace Development, I received this award, and I thank the organizations of the award and the very beautiful and talented and beauty with brains like Adam Onyema has said. This is an opportunity to express thanks to the whole of Nigeria for appreciating the minister of this award. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. God bless you. To present the next award, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Dr. Babatope Adeyo to please 2025. And this award goes to someone that has given our life for the promotion of our cultural heritage. Founder, CEO, African Fashion Week, London, Lagos, CEO at Oodua Textile Hub, Our Royal Majesty Olori Aderonke Ademiluyi Ogunwusi, Aya of Jaja II. Can I have a round of applause for the good Olori?
Congratulations, Her Royal Majesty.
Thank you very much, Princess, for this award. We have history. We go way back. Our relationship is over a decade. I remember when we started and had the academy, and I had the African Fashion Week in Nigeria as well. And together we have grown. And we have grown and we've doing remarkable things. So thank you so much for this award. Thank you for what you're doing, and may God Almighty continue to bless and keep you. Thank you.
Big congratulations once again, Her Royal Majesty Olori Aderonke. Development and Humanitarian Initiative, Dr. Joe Oke Odumake. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Celebrate a woman who is more than deserving.
I can assure you when it's time for her to say thank you, she will sing solely, solely, solely. I trust her.
She's already giving her hand.
So we present the SGA Awards presented to Dr. Joe Oke Odumake, founder, Women Arise Development and Humanitarian Initiative, SGA Heroine of Democracy Award 2025. Congratulations.
Thank you, our own Dr. Princess Okene, for organizing this. There are a whole lot of things I've seen here. I thank you. Without all, there will be no me. This award is special. This award is very, very special. And since I'm going to give a brief keynotes, this is the 940 awards I'm receiving today. So for 900 and something times, I've stood up to thank each and every one. There is like a thumbing for me to do more. And I'm dedicating my life to the struggle for a better Nigeria. And I'm promising you all that with you that I'm seeing here, I will never let down the work of Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Imagine being awarded 940 times. I think we can do better with the applause, ladies and gentlemen. And she'll be coming back to speak to us on gender justice and national development. Now you know why there is no other person that can do justice to that.
Hold the mic up.
I'm sure you deserve this a little more.
Good evening. I'm super excited to be here. I'll be speaking with you later on this evening. I share the sentiments of the last person. I've received a lot of awards in my life. I've traveled all over the world, but it was extremely important for me to be here this evening to support Princess, even more so than the award. And this evening you'll hear why I canceled all my plans and traveled 22 hours to support this beautiful soul. So thank you so much. Thank you for honoring the work, and I look forward to speaking with you all this evening. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Janita Foster, winner of the GAR Social Impact Excellence Award 2025. My co-MC was just telling me that we have the same accents.
Did I say that? Do you believe me? But she came all the way from the United States of America. That means that this is an important event. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause.
To spend. I'm still going to recognize the person who has brought us all here together. That's Dr. Princess Ogene. Thank you for putting this together. This is the 13th edition. I also want to thank Dr. Babatunde Adeyo for all that you do and for chairing these awards. We have the Her Royal Majesty Olori Ronke Ogun. Thank you for all that you do. My very good friend, and you'll be surprised, Chief Olashade Tinubu Uju. She's the Theologian General. We were supposed to go on one march. That was what I was remembering years ago. The chairman of Airpeace, maybe I don't want to fly again. The CEO, Chief Allen Oyema. Where's Senator Bashiru? Maluta Congress, I salute. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. I'm here today to discuss briefly how gender justice can be elevated in a society as a strategic pillar of national development. So I'll just say gender justice and national development. I've already thanked my beauty queen and prince for bringing us all here together. Please go back to that slide. For us to be discussing gender injustice today, it implies that there is inherent gender injustice globally. So globally, Africa, and then coming to Nigeria. The concept of gender justice refers to the full equality and equity between men and women in all spheres and sectors of society, resulting in women on an equal basis with men, defining and shaping the policies, structures, and decisions that affect their lives and society as a whole. So we talk about justice, gender justice. It has to do with equality and equity. Gender justice abhors patriarchy or even matriarchy, which are entrenched in many cultures across the globe. So patriarchy, that gender justice hates that, it abhors that, and even matriarchy. I'm sorry, you asked this question, so sorry. My organization, Women Arise, we handled more than 7,000 cases of gender-based violence. That's Fatima, the husband used knife to design her face. the title speech, the small part for him, so he was angry. And this young guy raped that woman, also transmitted HIV. We took up the cases. We took up Fatima's case. But the day the husband was to be sentenced, I wasn't really happy because he was killed in the bank. So we were sitting in the court and he was to join us. He quickly went for money, but unfortunately he died. And this young man too has been sentenced. So the reality in today's world is that every day, in every country, including Nigeria, women are confronted by discrimination and inequality. They face violence, abuse, and unequal treatment at home, at work, and in their wider communities. And those are some of the examples that we are seeing. One thing that we have realized in confronting this monster is that we must carry out regular awareness. And when we are doing awareness, we have anonymous staff, we involve the police, you can see a lot of them there. So women are also denied opportunity to learn, earn, and live. Women constitute the majority of persons living in poverty. So you see that a lot of our women, nature of hunger is written all over their faces. This one happened in Shagamu. The husband came back from work, but I think she was holding one feet, and she didn't quickly know. So the husband took her, used her head to break her in class. So they have, some of these people have access to resources, power, and influence when compared to men. So they have limited resources. They can experience worse inequality because of their class, ethnicity, age, and religion. So all these things restrict women in terms of having access and also be at that level of pedestal with the men folk. In fact, the former Nigerian president seems to have confirmed the place of Nigerian women in our society when he announced before a global audience that the place of his wife in his family and governance structure is in the other room. So it's synonym for bedroom, and that's the level at which women have been limited to. You all know the past president I'm referring to. It's so rest in peace. On a serious note, based on research that was carried out by Oxfam, it was discovered that less than 24% of the world's parliamentarians are women. Even if you come down to our own country, women are underrepresented. So the research also revealed that women were paid 24% less for comparable work across the region. So I've had to go to companies to carry out protests. Why do you employ a man or employ a woman? And the two of them are giving different pay. That's the worst discrimination. The study also showed that nearly 2% of the world's illiterate adults are women. So you see the type of discrimination that we face. I missed my flight to Ethiopia because of that girl in Areku. When it was Sunday, the bus went out. But this girl the previous night was chained outside because the bus was told that each time she goes out, the girl will go out. So he chained her. Again, that night, that girl was chained apart and she was naked. So big grass, were there. So someone called me and I had to go to Areku. And I saw the girl. But immediately the woman saw me said, "Oh, you are my own mother, I'm sorry, Satan. But still you have to cause." Influential people called me that I should please forgive her. Yes, we did not withdraw from the court case. So the research also forecasted that 1 in 3 women and girls will experience violence or abuse in their lifetime. And that's how it is. So for Nigeria to become a modern society, gender justice must be embraced as a priority. If we do not prioritize gender justice, that means we are not anywhere out to fight injustice. Let me illustrate this with a proverb which says that any person who is holding another person on the ground is actually holding himself down. So when you pin someone, at times you see wrestlers, they pin the other person. If you are holding that person on the ground, you are also holding yourself. This is because so long as a section of the population is denied education, jobs, and economic opportunities, that population cannot realize its full potential. There is no country that will grow if more than half of the population is left behind. It is incontestable that the more educationally advanced the society becomes, the more empowered it becomes economically. If you have more professionals in any society, the more prosperous that society becomes. So when women are educated, you have professionals, a lot of them are here, engineers, people doing wonderful things, they tend to prosper. When Kenya Joshua was the minister, I met her, at the airport. And we discussed a lot of things. It's an example of a well-educated man. So gender injustice, which is an unjust system, is rooted in patriarchy, which in itself is a product of evolutionary human culture. The human race has not always been dominated by this anachronistic culture. So patriarchy, matriarchy, we continue to hold the human race down. And that is what we have in most of the families. There is evidence to suggest that matriarchy raised supreme during the era of primitive communalism. It is apposite to say that the era of matriarchy was associated with widespread peace in human family, strife, conflict, and upheavals in society that have been linked to social stratification, which encourage patriarchy to thrive. It starts with the boy. You have a boy, you have a girl. The boy will go and play football. The girl will be there washing plates. The parents will say, go to the kitchen, and the boy will be there playing. So when he becomes a man, he will not want to help the wife. He will read newspaper and say, Daddy, bring water for me. Daddy, go and bring that. No, both of them should work very pursuit. These are some of the enlightenment programs that we are carrying out. And you can see a lot of our stars are our ambassadors. After summary, I will just read the conclusion briefly because the conclusion is not here. In summary, Nigeria needs to embrace gender justice. When we're talking about Nigeria, we talk about the global village, the world, Africa, and Nigeria. So in summary, Nigeria needs to embrace gender justice by domesticating and enforcing the provisions of the United Nations Convention on the elimination of all forms of violence against women. That is CEDAW. The Nigerian government needs to go beyond ratifying the treaty as it did in 1985. The government needs to adopt a comprehensive approach to address gender injustice. The government, when I'm talking about Nigerian government, is also applicable to Africa and the whole world. So the government needs to prioritize policies and initiatives that promote, it is ongoing, but more should be done, that promotes women's empowerment, such as providing qualitative education, financial services, vocational training, supporting women-led business, and enhancing women's participation in the decision-making process. This is the fundamental agenda of Women Arise, the organization that I lead. In conclusion, when we're talking about, I'll just take 1 minute. When we're talking about gender injustice, there must be no patriarchy. There must be no matriarchy. Injustice to one is injustice to all. Silence is no longer holding. Anyone that is experiencing violence, discrimination, you must speak up. As women arise, we will not discriminate. If men come to us and tell us their rights are beating them, we invite them. And this is not the matter we should talk about. Last year, we buried about 15 women. And about 7 or 8 men that their wives killed. So marriage is not competition, but to complement each other. And silence is no longer golden. If anything happens, we speak up. Women must be empowered. They must be economically buoyant. Women are stars. When you train a woman, you are training a whole nation. So there's no woman, no nation. I just want to encourage each and everyone. I want Africans to rise. Because in those days, all these communal clashes, differences, lots of issues arise from us. Let us rise up. Men, hold women. Do not feel threatened. You know that it's extremely difficult to clap with one hand. To get a resounding applause, you must clap with both hands. So men and women must work pari-passu for us to have a country that works. And solidarity song. Let me just give you, sorry, I'll round up now. Let me just give you 5 short quotations. The first one. As someone says, every undercut is either the coward or the traitor. Something happens. Your husband is chained outside. You are in labor. You look and just touch your window. Or you see someone, don't let anybody call you somebody. You see someone beating the wife. And sitting there and look, was stabbed 76 times by the husband. And some people had the cry of a woman. They just got the what's her business? She died, that banker died. That's not her issue. The worthiness of life is deep rooted in the service of mankind. The selfless service that Alan is rendering. We had a special song for him. For what he did during the xenophobic attacks. History will never ever forget him.
Right.
As my Christ says that, what we do for ourselves dies with us. But what we do for the world and the others remain. Don't just think that it is you alone. I told someone, I had my first baby. The moment I gave birth to her, over a decade ago, I left her in the hospital after she cried, and I went out for a rally. Came back. So what you like doing, you will see that if you do not do it, you will never be happy. Go and tell Princess Okene to go and, it's 10 o'clock, go to sleep. They will not sleep even if she takes it down. Because what she likes doing, her dream is what is being actualized. I just want to encourage us, and this is the thing I always say, that there is strength in unity. I want to encourage each and everyone that when you see something, you say something. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.
Thank you very much, Dr. Joe. Always a pleasure to see the Bank of Industry. We Bank of the Flag can quickly come on stage. The award is for the Financial Services Leader Award 2025.
Thank you so very much. We want to keep very happy, proud, and very appreciative of the organizers. This will serve as an impetus for us to continue to do what we're doing and what we know best for doing. Thank you very much. The MD and the team is saying thank you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Elder Terry Otsubo is the chairman of the EKPC. Thank you very much, sir.
Congratulations once again, Bank of Industry, for receiving the GA Financial Services Leader Award 2025. Now to present the next award, and this award goes to none other than the Premier Destination Management Travels, Incel Tourism. Congratulations! Can we have representatives of Incel Tourism off stage for their awards? DJ, please stop music. Thank you.
The GA Outstanding Consumer Brand Award 2025, Retail and Consumption Drink and Beverage, Amstel Malls.
Amstel Malta.
If you want to keep your figure like I've been doing, drink Amstel Malta.
Okay.
Good evening, all. Distinguished personalities. This very great pleasure to be presenting GAH Awards, Amstel Malt, Retail and Consumption, Drink and Beverages, Outstanding Consumer Brand Award 2025. GAH Awards, I'd like to present this to you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Amstel Malt, on receiving the GA Outstanding Consumer Brand Award 2025.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we also wish you compliments of the season. Maybe congratulations to GA Awards for putting together this beautiful event, and thank you so much for being a part of open society. At Amstel Malt, we're very proud to say this. We do what we do because of our consumers, and Amstel Malt encourages you to be honest. Thank you very much.
Lovely. Congratulations once again. All right, he'll be presenting the award for Wealth Management Excellence 2025. And the recipient of this award is none other than Weber Bank! Congratulations, Weber Bank! Our GA Wealth Management Excellence Awardee 2025. Can we have a recipient of Weber Bank come on stage to receive the award, please?
You know, when I was growing up, Weber Bank was referred to as the Agbo Bank, which means the more you take from Weber, it never goes dry. So, and many years after, they're still in the business of sustainability, wealth management excellence.
And for a sustainable brand like GA Awards, you cannot but partner with another sustainable brand like Weber Bank. So the partnership is in sync. Please, a round of applause for Weber Bank, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
All Weber Bank crew, let's have you, Weber Bank, I'm told we're legion here tonight. Please, let's join her. Let's join her for this group picture as I recognize and welcome the Special Advisor of Media Publicity to the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Mr. Jonathan Eze. A round of applause for Mr. Jonathan Eze, please.
Thank you very much for this amazing one. Unfortunately, what category I was going to present, Wealth Management. So after you finish your pieces, this one, so that I can manage your wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Weber Bank, on behalf of GA Awards, I would like to present the Wealth Management Excellence Award for 2025 to Weber Bank. Thank you very much.
80 years and still going strong.
This is so overwhelming. This is awesome. I want to say thank you to GA Award for this special gift, for this special award, for recognizing the impetus of innovation, culture, partnership, and well-placed banking. Thank you for this presentation. We'll continue to partner with GA Award. We'll continue to partner with people, and we are there to preach the gospel of wealth to the whole nation. Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again, Weber Bank.
For our esteemed panelists, good evening, sir. I need somebody to help me with the mobile mic. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Nice to meet you. Honorable Minister, I was going through all the amazing work you've done, or your representative of Honorable Ministers asking you, because you're an extension of him. And my first question for you this evening is, how can aviation leadership accelerate Africa's integration into the global economy while ensuring safety, innovation, and world-class service delivery?
Crazy,
So I'll speak here because the questions were asked. Okay. On the first point, you asked how aviation leadership can integrate African globally while ensuring safety and innovation. The straightforward answer is that we must treat safety as the absolute license to operate. without it, nothing else follows. The International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, audits are our baseline, not our ceiling. Our focus is on moving Nigeria and encouraging other African states towards effective implementation. That's the global stamp of trust that attracts major international carriers and aircraft lessors. Innovation and service then becomes our competitive tools. Through integration, niches of the single African air transport market startup. Leadership means pragmatically driving its implementations, not just signing up to it. This means resolving the hard issues, harmonizing regulations, facilitating foreign exchange repatriation for airlines, and incentivizing route development. When a flight from Lagos to Accra or Nairobi is as seamless as one within the EU, we've reimagined Africa's economic map. Concurrently, we are pushing for the adoption of more fuel-efficient fleets and exploring sustainable aviation fuel partnerships, because global integration now comes with a green imperative. Okay, thank you so much. I particularly like what you were saying about the seamless travel between countries, because I feel it's through aviation that we can actually connect the world more. So if we have flights that the prices are properly harmonized and more flights like APs and other African flights, African-led aircrafts, companies are able to fly us to different parts of the world, which will really help to improve the globalization. And like you said, like the theme of today's event, Africa Reunited, so that innovation and inclusivity and sustainability will be enhanced. So thank you so much, Honorable Minister. You're welcome. My next question is for Anthony Atta. Is he here today?
No.
Shanita, good evening, beautiful. I love your dress. I love your hair.
Thank you.
I love everything. And I love the US. I've not been there well, but
I'm just a visitor there now.
you are now Nigeria. So nice to see you in person. I read about you. Amazing things you're doing. Well done. Well done on everything. So my question for you is a question pertaining to African entrepreneurs. So what qualities do you think or African entrepreneurs need to develop in order to be able to build credibility and long-term trust with global investors? Because us in Africa, we just seem like we are not there yet. Most of the things we are trying to do, it seems like it's not up to the global standard. So how can we position ourselves to be able to get that global recognition so that we can be seen all over the world?
Okay, so to get global investors invest in people. They want good ideas, but they invest in people. And I think a lot of people miss oftentimes that a company and investor want to invest in someone that they can trust. So integrity is the first thing. Doing exactly what it is that you say that you're going to do. There's a lot of over-promising and under-delivering that happens in business transactions. So the first one, definitely to make sure integrity, consistency is really big. For a lot of investors, people start off strong in the beginning of the project, but then it fades towards the end. So consistency is really big. Transparency. Oftentimes mistakes happen throughout the business transaction or deals, and it's honesty and transparency that will continue to push that forward. And then lastly, having global literacy. A lot of times when investors want to do business, or when you want to do business in another country, you have to be culturally sound. You have to know what's going on in that culture. So oftentimes someone, example, it may be in the Middle East, it's understanding what's going on in their culture at that time.
I really love the fact about culture. Yeah, can we give an applause to that? And also give an applause to the Honorable Minister for our answer as well. Yeah. So thank you, Janet. I really like, am I pronouncing your name?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So I really like what you're saying about culture, because culture connects us all. And especially if you, we have more in common anyway than we're different. So I like you using the vantage point of culture to kind of connect to or find synergy with globalization, right? So thank you so much for that explanation, for that beautiful rendition. Thank you. So my next question is on the and I would like to beseech on the organizers to help me with the question for some of the panelists here. The country somebody, I'm still waiting, please. Okay, so Omonike, thank you for sharing your question because it kind of makes the panelists this evening. So your question is basically for HR managers or HR leaders and government. So I would like to ask this: how can HR leaders and the private sector collaborate to redesign recruitment and skill system for a globally competitive talent pipeline? You see, I'm smiling.
Yes, thank you
because
very much.
it's so interesting. I'd like to get your perspective.
From my own point of view, being a HR leader for over 20 years, employing over 20,000 youths in Nigeria to date, I can tell you that that question resonates very well with our industry. So we've all talked about this inequality. We've talked about the fact that women are not being included, and it's not just only women. You also have the underserved category, and the underserved are talking about are the people with disability, those with other issues like women in the northern region, who are particularly underserved because of the popularity of their religion. So when you look at all that, and you see the huge youth population, which is supposed to be for our advantage, you find out that women are still disadvantaged in every way. I mean, the statistics, the recent statistics from McKinsey, the 2025, shows that for all the young graduates who went into employment, only 36% were women, and the remaining 67% were all male. So you can see, even with all the discussions, even with all the talks, with all the intentional aspects, all these programs like what Dr. Ogene has put here today, we'll still have those disparities. And it comes, I think something like when Dr. Joe spoke about the injustice to women, but a lot of it stems from a foundational issue, which we are not really looking at, and that is from our cultural norms. Culture, how women are being pushed aside, how women are not allowed to own assets. So I think we all need to come together, and that's why it's not something that the government can lead alone. The initiatives have to be led by employers, it has to be led by the government, it also has to be led by HR leaders. So they can come together, form a competencies framework, because right now, based on your question, if you see the competencies out there, they do not match, they do not align. Everyone keeps saying we don't have the skills, we don't have the skill, we don't have anything, we need to speak to NMC, we need to speak to the body, we need to speak to the Ministry of Education. But there's no active collaboration or active steps that are being taken to make that happen. You see most of the universities right now just taking it upon themselves to create some curriculum in a makeshift format. They're not doing it in a global and more national thing. So we need the government, just as was done in Australia and in Singapore, and has been very, very successful, to come up with a competency framework of the gaps in the major occupations, take that framework, feed it into the universities and the colleges, and then invite them. So that comes from the role of the government. And aside from that, can make it a policy whereby people are encouraged to use those policies.
More resilient, efficient, and future-ready. What do you think the innovative models should be?
Well, thank you very much. It gives me great pleasure to be here tonight to address this very great audience. Well, as per the question that you have asked, what Lagos State and Nigeria has to do in addressing the question that you have posed is for us to pay more attention to incremental development, harnessing the strength that we already have in the human resource that we have in Nigeria because of the Japan syndrome. And of course, there are a lot of factors that we can begin to eschew from there. For us in Lagos State, and of course I can speak for Nigeria, in Lagos State we have more than 20 million people, and we are challenged with population explosion. But we take our pride in the way that we have been able to manage that in the way we have structured our systems in transportation, in housing, and in mobility. For example, we have a deficit of about 3.3 to 3.5 housing deficit in Lagos State, and we have been audacious in attracting public-private partnerships, because we cannot do it all ourselves in Lagos State. We entice PPP model in attracting people to come and partner with us in providing house mobility. And also, in transportation in Lagos State, traffic management and all this stuff, we, of course, have the vast level of integration. We have an integrated model where the road network, the water network, and the air network have been integrated. So, for us in Lagos State, we are coming up with our own airport, where we'll be able to further harness the strength and the population that we have in Lagos State. So for us, an aid of the government and the governor of Lagos State, and I can categorically speak and confidently about Lagos State that we're not leaving any stone unturned on the challenges that we have in solving those challenges in Lagos State. So more or less, Lagos State is adopting a model of incremental approach in our housing, transportation, and all the factors that of course visibly affect us in Lagos State. So more or less, in some challenging areas that we have in Lagos, especially security, you recall that, even as yesterday, there were some, launching the contributors, the likes of our Dangote and all the eminent personalities in Nigeria who take solace in Lagos State. So, in the nutshell, we in Lagos State we are concerned with our environment in Lagos State, being the economic hub of Nigeria, where more than 20 million people reside and do their businesses in Lagos State. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. What I get from that is that you are bringing a lot of innovations such as housing, empowering security personnel, building structures, all the people, all the work we're doing in our ministry. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
My next question is for you. Thank you for being here. Infrastructure for growth and basically what are the innovative pathways you created for sustainable real estate and infrastructure growth, and what would you suggest can help to position Africa more on a global scale?
Thank you very much. Africa's population growth is out of control, especially for the country like our population is growing at an annual rate, while our infrastructure is costing in Africa. Today, it is estimated that Nigeria has a housing deficit of between estimated between 28 billion. And as of today, the entire housing stock that is added to the housing market in Nigeria is about 100,000 on an annual basis. And it is expected that if that gap is to be closed, a lot more needs to be done. It is expected that we require aspiration between 700,000 to 800,000 housing stock added on an annual basis to our whole housing stock to enable us to house. Now, the majority of our crisis comes from massive urbanization. Most of our population, we have a lot of rural-urban migration. So a city like Lagos, as small as it's supposed to be in terms of land mass, is housing between 28 million to 30 million people. And so it tells you that the infrastructure we have in Lagos is highly stressed. So we must appreciate the effort of the state government in adding to that housing stock. But a lot much more is still required, especially in creating financing for the built environment. Today, we are happy with what the federal government has done with the renewed hope housing, which goes to add nearly 74,000 houses across the different 774 local governments in Nigeria. But government really cannot do it. So what do we as developers expect? On our own part, we expect that just the same way we have single-digit funding for the housing industry all over the world, we should have single-digit funding for Nigeria's real estate sector. Nobody can do business in a market where you go and you get funding at 34%, 36% to build. But there's also an opportunity for collaborative financing, collaboration of all stakeholders, government, banks, securities, for the housing sector, just like what they have done with the most funding, Ministry of Finance, incorporated every funding that enables housing buyers to get single-digit loan, 9.7%. It's actually the first time we're having the government in Nigeria do that. So that has been able to help the demand side. They have been able to help home buyers get funding at 9.75%. But then we also have a bit of crisis on the supply side, because very few developers want to do low-cost or middle-income housing. A lot of developers access finance, we call it the off-taker model. Somebody pays for a house over a year period or 2 year period, you reduce the entry barrier, which we have been able to successfully do in terms of allowing subscribers to pay between 10 to 20% and spread payment by 2 years. But then you have inflation running the country like ours, making it more difficult. So the faster you're able to deliver those houses the more trustworthy your off-takers are going to trust you, and the more likely you are able to deliver those projects, and to a large extent, the more the opportunity for you to grow.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. As you all can see, this is a very very diverse panel. We are talking about agriculture, housing, road structure, HR, we're talking about local ambassador, writer. So at the end of the day, we are all looking at a way to reimagine Africa through inclusivity, sustainability, and innovation as the theme of this event. So I would like us to give our panelists a round of applause for sharing their insights and help us move forward on all of the things they have shared with us this evening. And we want to thank you all so much for having us this evening. Thank you.
CEO Uniform Nigeria Limited, Engineer Mumini Rafiu, Member Governing Board, Federal Polytechnic, Katuko Gombe, Mr. P. Oamusho, CEO King FM Radio Station, Ishoko, Mr. Festus Olaifa, Special Advisor to the National Secretary, APC, thank you for coming, God bless you. Whilst dinner is going on, nothing goes best with good food than good music. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you in the hands of the world famous Aristo's Band. Enjoy your dinner. We heard what Dr. Oyema said about supporting African businesses, about supporting Nigerian businesses, because the story of the success of any Nigerian brand automatically translates to greatness for Nigeria.
Oh my God.
Never has the statement present and true among students make have more meaning. If I die and go to heaven now, I'll tell God I lived a good life. DJ, take it off. Once a business summit 2025, a resounding success.
Let's come to the middle.
Okay, so I want to say a big thank you to these beautiful women right here. Please let's give them a round of applause. I think they deserve more. Please let's give them a round of applause. They are the single reason why that award is trending on socials everywhere. They called and they answered. And because of that, I am indebted to this women. Anytime you call me to champion your businesses, I'll be there. So I want to say thank you very much for honoring our call.
This guy.
I am
This
blessed
one, I
to
don't
have you.
feel
I am proud to have you. And oh my God, I just feel good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, it's a future.
proactive in coming up with this very important discussion. The issue of democracy and governance is at the center of any government. I only say that there is correlation between democratic governance, democratic institutions, and good governance. If people who are rulers of power know very sure that when we look out through democratic processes, there will be a urge of them to perform and deliver on the social contract of the people. So you cannot talk about good governance when you are abusing democratic institutions. So far, the journey for democratic advancement in Nigeria has been very tortuous, very challenging, but is very promising. And I say this, are looking at the trajectory of the history of democratic institutions. When we look at the way democratic institutions started, in the First Republic, within a period of 5 years, Nigerians were fed up. And then the military struck. And then we have 13 years of military intervention. Then within another 4 years and 3 months, military struck and again. And that took us almost another 18 years before in 1889 we go back to democratic institutions. And for now, we are talking about 25 years of unbroken democratic and transition. It has come with its own challenges. Some of the challenges that are even threatening the continuity of democratic institutions is the way that the system was able to resolve it. We have the problem when we have an ailing president who became incapacitated, and it was becoming impossible to determine who was in charge of Nigeria. The National Assembly, where Assad, as the Senator of the Republic, had to revoke what they call doctrine of necessity and get the Vice President to become the acting president. And of course, you have also seen challenges in terms of how democratic have been our elections. When you look at the electoral cycles 4 years in and out, as the syndrome said, is a manifestation of the need for us to develop as a government program, policies and programs that elevate the living condition of our people so that they will be able to see that they don't need to do those things. The second is true. If the government institutions are strengthened in a way that citizens perform their civic responsibility, the issue of good incidents of vote buying, vote and the thing of the past. I remember as a young person on the street of Oshogo, at each year around March, you will see tax collectors collecting tax. If you don't even have so much deadline, when you pay against tax, it's about 7 naira 50 kobo at that particular point in time. So if you pay for a period of 4 years, and somebody is coming to give you what's going up to what you are going to do. So there must be a kind of connection between citizen ownership of government and then the strengthening of our democratic institutions. Another area has to do with the rule of law. You cannot have two sets of rules, one for the governed and then for those who are governed and the people. Whether you have equality for the law, rule of law, and respect for the judiciary, that will enhance inclusion and democratic activation. Those are the areas in which we are thinking of. But you cannot, in reality, have the new democratic advancement when you don't address economic imbalances and the parity and the economic balance.
Thank you, sir. And I love how you mentioned the connection between, not having separate rules for the government and the government. And in line with that, how do you think Africa can strengthen the electoral processes to make the people trust, what the parties are doing or what the government is doing, the democratic culture?
In terms of strengthening the electoral process, we must make a difference between fiction and reality. And I say this as a politician. What I mean is that our electoral processes have become improved over the years. And I see this being somebody who has been involved. I've served as 2 terms as a commissioner, I've been the senator of the government, and I see it as the head of secretariat of the living government that has about 26 and the government. But we see there is this culture of not accepting the result of the election, even when you are very sure that you have lost an election. And I say this because I've won the election and I've lost the election, and I'm not there to really go and challenge the election. Even people who are sure
that they have lost an election. They think that they can still go and approach. And then people have also lost the election. They are not telling their supporters the reality that they have lost an election. For instance, at the last presidential election, when you see two people that came second and third coming to address the joint conference about an electoral and a conference, the question you ask yourself, who among the two of you is now the winner of that election? The reality is that we are still in the house of imperfection, but democratic culture must also recognize the fact that it must use, it must win, particularly in a democratic context that will be a winner. What we have in our own system is a simple plurality system. That means that you can win with simple majority, you may not be absolute majority. So when that has occurred, as politicians, we must decide the fact that there is another electoral cycle for us to really come and show that we have a better transformation. But in terms of strengthening democratic institutions, we need to ensure that we get civic education for our people. We need to also ensure there is adequate security at the election. We also need to ensure that our people have confidence that their franchise exercising it will become very realistic in terms of reflecting the outcome of the talk, apart from fiction. Because what I know, and I say this because as somebody sitting at the National Secretary of the Ruling Party, I know some people who don't even have any organizational structure at any one level, local government at state level. They go on social media to say and make claims to the fact that they are doing politics. Election is not won on social media. Election is not won on making propaganda. It's meant by working seriously and getting the people to come out, identify with a political party and vote for you in an election. Those are the things I said, the difference between fiction and reality. And of course, anytime the ruling party, my party wins the election, they will say the election has been rigged. Anytime they win the election, I get to place in place and to help. Anytime my party uses a judge's report, the child is fine. But anytime the ruling party wins the case, the child is notified. That's the election that was done in Anambra. My political party lost the election. We will not bother to challenge it before the tribunal. The first president of Nigeria was the first person to congratulate the winner who is not within our political party. So we want to tell the opposition element to also invite the democratic culture of accepting that election is not to do or die, and electorate willing to choose who they want in the ruling party and the opposition party.
Thank you very much, Sir. I guess a lot still needs to be done in terms of instilling that trust in the minds of the public and then the government as well. But then again, we have limited time, so we'll move on. But thank you for that. So moving on from governance to the engine of a private nation, I'm talking about investment and entrepreneurship. I'm going to move to you, Mr. Nnamdi Ezigbo. You are the CEO of SLOT, and with Africa experiencing a rapid economic shift, what investment or entrepreneurship behaviors must Africans adopt today to secure long-term wealth in a globally evolving economy? Oh, you want me to repeat the question? The national mind. Is that what? Can you help us with the mind?
All right, so talking about Africa investment, development, and growth, essentially, we have to look at manpower development. We have to look at capital development. And so one of the things that I think is lacking in Africa, and that's one of the challenges that are associated with growth, investment, and development in Africa, is basically manpower, skill, competence, knowledge, and the necessary experience to create wealth. So I think we have to invest more in human capital. We have to invest more in human capacity, training people to acquire the necessary skill that is required to create value in Africa. In our institutions, all right, we should begin to build and set up courses that will actually impact our society. today you agree with me that some of the courses that are studied in our university do not necessarily produce the kind of value and the kind of materials that we expect to see. The institutions should actually act like a production house. So they take in the best raw materials, process them, and produce the best products that will now serve the society. So we should begin to look at how to build capacity in terms of human capital, in terms of knowledge, in terms of skill. And today, this is the truth. Most of our best hands are living the shores of Nigeria. All right? And this is very dangerous for nation building. So for Africa to actually talk about investment, sustainability, and growth, we should begin to look at how to help young people to acquire the right skill, the university system, the government. It actually involves the government, it involves the institution, and also the organizations, all right? So it's a triple-headed kind of relationship, all right? Government, institutions, and organizations. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Please, a round of applause.
One of the very important elements here is government.
The government.
The government. All right, so we need to attract the best hands in government. We need to begin to attract the best hands in government. Because people who make policies sometimes do not understand what the entrepreneurs go through. So you have politicians who have never managed any business, and they are sitting in positions to make laws that will actually impact the lives and activities of the entrepreneurs. So governments, politics, or politicians should do everything possible to attract the best hands, attract entrepreneurs. All right? Appoint entrepreneurs as ministers, as commissioners. All right? So these are people who understand what efficiency means, what time means, what effectiveness means, what productivity means. All right? And so bureaucracy and all that is one of the biggest problems we have. And that's what you find in most government and and other parastatals. So if government can actually identify the right people, give them the opportunity to fill in the right space, we would make Nigeria a better place for entrepreneurship.
I suppose this conversation could be a long one, but because of time, I'm going to go on straight to of African transformation, which is leadership. We have an expert in the house in the leadership capacity building and certification, Dr. Ajibola. So let me ask you this question. How can structured leadership development redefine the quality of governance and corporate leadership across Africa?
Okay, so there's a known saying that everything right upon leadership. And if everything right upon leadership, then we must take leadership development very seriously. Because if you see commotion, confusion, crisis in any environment, it's possible you have a leader that does not know how to lead, and is trained to lead. And that leader has not recognized his deficiency in leadership. As simple as what are we looking for in a leader? We're looking for someone that can make effective decisions, someone that can communicate effectively, someone that can think critically. So all of these are skills that we build. So until we start seeing leadership, the same way we want to build public skills, we want to build parliamentary skills, you are a leader. You must deliberate about your development, or else you're going to kill anything given to you.
Right. Fantastic. I know you mentioned developing yourself as a leader, but how can we make leadership development a national priority in Africa is to compete meaningfully in a knowledge-based global economy?
Yeah, because before we appoint people as leaders, we must make sure they are ready for leadership. Not trying them in leadership and praying that they don't fail. So most times in Africa, it's a purely leadership by position. So immediately that person becomes a leader, you look like a leader, just appoint that person without checking the person's readiness, the person's preparedness for leadership. And that's why we go through circles.
leaders from the company that have been trained in leadership, and you're wondering why the person is failing. Of course, it will fail. Then it will, I guess it will be using your business as a place to rehearse its leadership skills, and over time, it kills your business. So I feel that we must embed it in government to ensure that before we put people in leadership position, they are trained. Even in schools, leadership should be a subject of discussion. You grow in leadership to the skill.
Thank you for that. And I guess on this panel today, we talked about capacity building and for leadership and for entrepreneurship as well. So moving on, thank you so much, Dr. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you. So now we're going to move from governance to justice. And we moved from governance to entrepreneurship to leadership. And now we're moving into, I think, a more powerful and often overlooked engine of innovation, which is wellness and inclusion. And this is where I'm going to bring data into play, so to speak. I strongly believe that when the mind and body are right, everything else will begin to fall into place, whether it's governance, leadership, or entrepreneurship. So, Mandana, please tell me, how does wellness-driven leadership improve productivity, or tell us, improve productivity, creativity, and workplace culture within the African business sector?
First of all, I would like to thank my dear friend, Princess Kelechi, for giving me this opportunity to share in this stage with empowered business rich minds, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity. So I am Vandana Kaushal, and I am from wellness industry, as you know. For me, I believe that wellness is the heart of business.
The business.
Yes. So, you know, your heart has to be pumping for you to live. Exactly like that. If you want excellence in your business, wellness is the only goal. You can see in this world nowadays, everybody is so stressed. And you can see that the stress and the life struggle makes people less productive. So the only thing which people don't think about is their own wellness. So they will do anything to do any other thing but to invest in themselves, in their wellness. And I think wellness is something which should be taken very, very seriously. Yes, because wellness is not about having facials done or having massages done or something. No, it is about an environment that you create for people to become more productive. So yes, wellness can be excellent for your business and for the leadership as well, whether they are your employees or your workers or leaders themselves. Wellness is important for everything.
I completely agree, and I think that you come up more from an empty cup. And I'm going to ask you this question as well. What role does inclusion play very quickly in building innovative companies that can thrive in a highly competitive global landscape? And whilst you're thinking of that answer, I want everyone to think of one sentence that you're going to charge the audience with that we're going to leave with tonight. Please answer.
Inclusion is the backbone of innovation. One mind cannot think 1,000 things at a time. So why to stress your one mind and not use other minds who are working with you and who can give you new and innovative ideas? So I think all the leaders should be very, very putting this thing up front, that all of their employees should be able to share their new ideas. From any of their new ideas, innovation can come. And you know, innovation is something which is the future. So if you want to thrive in your business, innovation is supposed to be there, and innovation can be possible only with inclusion.
With inclusion. Thank you so much, Nadana. So I'm going to check. So one child, one sentence, child.
So
So there's this general quote that says, the goal of life is not the perfect. The goal of life is to progressively get to it. So what we should do is to ensure that we take our leadership development very serious and declare a state of emergency for leadership development.
Thank you so much. Senator, one charge. One sentence charge.
If you want the country to progress, engage in politics.
If you want the country to progress, engage in politics.
Because you stand to be ruled and controlled by people you think are less endowed if they are not there.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Mr. Nandi Ezekiel.
All right, I'll say that inclusive management is one of the benefits of diverse workforce. So you have people with diverse opinion, diverse knowledge, technical skills, you will obviously have advantage in your industry.
Fantastic, thank you very much. And Ms. Mandana?
So I would like to say that in this world of stress, just take a pause. Love yourself a little more, relax yourself a little more, come and enjoy the wellness a little more.
Fantastic. And I'm going to say that if we commit to these, Africa, as we envision, can become a reality. Thank you so much to our distinguished guests, and thank you everyone for listening.
Photographers, are you okay? Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good evening. It's a great pleasure to be presenting GAR Awards to Professor Obiora Shaggy Oyefa, Chairman, CEO, United Nigeria Airlines. As an aviation professional excellence, what you have been doing for the country, congratulations, congratulations.
The next award, ladies and gentlemen, is the GAR Public Policy Leadership Award 2025.
And to present this award, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the CEO, Air Peace Limited, Dr. Alan Onyema.
Dr. Alan Onyema.
He's taking Africa to the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, please, when you come up stage to receive your award, you have just 30 seconds for your vote of thanks before time.
The Ghana Public Policy Leadership Award 2025 goes to politician, lawyer, National Secretary of the APC, Senator Dr. Ajibola Bashiru. DJs, play something for him, please. DJ, play something for him.
Congratulations.
30 seconds.
Well exhausted.
I thank the organizers for considering me worthy of this award. I dedicate this award to the 3 members of my party, the All Progressive Congress in Nigeria, and I wish you success in the next series of awards. I wish our country the best of luck and success in our endeavors. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again, politician, lawyer, national.
Good evening, sir. As the former ambassador of tourism of Zimbabwe, I would like to present you the Sustainable Tourism Award in the sector. Advocate Award for 2025.
Good morning, everyone. I want to say thank you to Futures, this organization for consumers worthy of this award. I was expected it's encouraging to recognize your efforts and we continue to do our best. Thank you. On behalf of God, Princess Beauty with Grace, I'd like to present this award to Dr. Kennedy Okonkwo, philanthropist, real estate entrepreneur, business and entrepreneurship. I'd like to say, well done. You're doing a great job. I enjoyed your new talk about real estate. Thank you very much. We'd like to present you this award.
Thank you very much to the organizers of this award. To whom much is given, much more is expected. The reward for good work done is more work. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Joining the good princess on stage for the next award is the Yalaji
GAR Autonomous Vehicle Innovation Award 2025. And this award goes to the GMD CEO Briscoe Motors Nigeria PLC, Mr. Sheikh Onajide.
Mr. Sheyi Onajide, the MD of Bristol Motor Nigeria Limited. You deserve the best because you are very hardworking masses. Today I need you. So congratulations, my blood brother. Thank you.
Good evening, beautiful people. On behalf of the Board of Directors, management and staff of Outreach School Nigeria PLC, I would like to thank the organizers of our award for a wonderful outfit that we put up today. I must comment that when I came in here, I was really taken aback. My sister, you done a wonderful job. I will say congratulations to you as well for this that you have put up. A lot of effort you have put into this. I will commend you for that. My sister, thank you very much. My brother, thank you very much. On behalf of our school, we say thank you to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Congratulations on your award, Award for Autonomous Vehicle Innovation 2025, Mr. Sheyi.